welcome back to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up, hit that notify button, subscribe button, tell a friend. Why can't I remember my passwords? Okay. All right, so it is Housewives Thursdays, and we're rounding up the best of what we've been given from Housewives. On the docket today, we have The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 20, Reunion Part 3. Thank God it is the final episode of this season. Jamal.
I'm glad this is over. This is trash. It was terrible. There's no way this should have been 3 episodes. There's no way this reunion should have been 3 parts.
I agree with you. This could have been a 90-minute special. But I'm surprised that I'm going to say this. The only saving grace of this particular episode was the husbands.
No, for real. 100%. Todd gave us the highlight of the whole reunion, if we're going to be honest.
I mean, from the everybody is below Candy's tax bracket to, taking us back to those thirsty years. I was like, oh my God. And then even rallying the boys at the beginning, asking them if they prepared and doing the sample questions. Okay, Mr. Gaslighter, why are you always gaslighting people?
I mean,
I thought it was cute.
When it came out, when Todd let loose that Marlo had to pay for her own ticket to Africa, I was done. I'm like, this is what we needed. We should just have the husbands out here. Forget y'all.
Yeah.
I think what should have happened is the husband should have been sitting on the couch and the lady should have been sitting on the back row.
Yes, for that particular piece,
yes,
he just called out, and then Andy co-signed it,
right?
Because she was like trying to have amnesia, and he's like, no, we paid for your air. No, you paid for your air. Yeah, he was telling her, you paid for your air, and she's like, oh yeah, I think I did. I don't know. I hope this season is a valuable learning lesson for Marlo, though I doubt it will be. But don't go for people who have dirt on you.
Right.
I think I'm like most people. I keep forgetting that Todd was behind the scenes in a previous life. So he knows the dirt on and probably still does know the dirt because he still thinks that way as a producer. And he probably still has friends there. Just saying. So exactly. He knows all the old dirt and the new dirt. Shame. Right. I like Ross in his first ever reunion, where he turned his one little misstep this season into like a little joke. Where he told Andy at the end of the segment with the men, don't F with my wife. I thought that was kind of cute. I don't know. Is there anything else? Because I mean, no, we started off rehashing the argument with this whole segment was Sheree and oh my God,
Drew.
I'm gonna be glad when both of these shows are done with the Sheree. With Sheree and Drew arguing back and forth, at times it was entertaining and at times it was mind-numbing. Sheree saying that she can't confirm that he's into women with Ralph. That little back and forth was mildly entertaining for me, but I think Ralph had a good point where he said, with this particular franchise, they do fall back on using gay slurs. I think we need to evolve. And what does Sheree say? We need new material. I agree with that.
New content.
Yes. Hi, everybody in the chat. Hey, Black Lavender. Hi, Erica. Welcome. All cool with each other. Yes. Yes, I think that's one of the nice things about all of these franchises, maybe with the exception of Jersey for this past season, but the husbands do tend to seem to be cool with each other, unlike the wives. When Todd said Marlo's thirst level was high, I was weak. Oh, he came ready. He came ready for her. Let me see.
Todd, like I said, Todd
What
was the
else?
husband. Todd was the highlight of this third part.
Oh my God. When Ralph mentioned that he was going on a book tour and and Todd said not to Tampa. Oh. That was cute. Todd was the MVP of this episode. Todd was the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
He had all of the great one-liners. He had all of the tea. And he spilled it in a very respectful manner.
Right.
And then at the end of the episode, we find out what the ladies learned about what they can take away from this season. I tuned out, and then Sheree brought out, I guess, swag from She by Sheree for everyone. And according to Drew, she confiscated everything from everyone with the exception of Andy after the show finished filming.
Right.
Sheree.
So, what did you think about? Speaking of Drew, what do you think about? Was it Sheree who called her out? Like, why can't you just say like that you aren't like you're not a business owner? Like, why did you phrase it like you're a business owner when you're just a paid ambassador? Like, why And then Andy said like, well, basically he asked her why didn't you do that? Like, do you think you should have phrased it better?
Um, hey Pearl, welcome. I think that was a stupid question because I shouldn't say a stupid question. It was a good question, but to anyone else besides Drew, because Drew never answers a question.
Right.
So we were never going to get an answer from her. She's a lot of smoke and mirrors, her and Ralph.
Mm-hmm. And I really hope Sheree comes out with drop it with who t-shirts next season.
You know she is. She's going to do that drop it with who now
I hope she
because
is.
she doesn't have anything from the fashion show to put up on the website. Remember, she made note of that. She said, it's not what you saw in the fashion show. It's this stuff now, but I don't even think she said that's coming later. I don't think we will ever see what was in the fashion show.
Not for a good
Especially if you could
year or
get it
two.
on Shein. Mm-mm.
I was just
Um,
like, because I felt it was a good question. I felt it was appropriate. And here's the thing that killed me when Drew said this season she was her authentic self, and my whole thing is, so your authentic self is a liar. I'm like, that's not something you want to like put your hat on. I'm
again,
just saying.
Drew
If
just
I'm
doesn't
wrong, let me
click
know.
for me. She just doesn't. I can't relate to her. I don't think she really relates to any of these girls. Um, it seems like Candy's really taking to her. I'm not sure why. Um,
Girl's right. I agree. I
you
didn't like
showed
that
more,
either.
yeah.
She
But
threw it
wait, he
plus
went and got that book deal without telling her? And the premise of the book deal is her child that isn't even his biological child?
right.
That seemed kind of shifty to me, but I'm not a parent, so I don't know. I don't know. He's not even adopting that kid anymore. How are you
No,
writing a book on him?
the way he's phrasing it is like he's writing a book about the adventures of being a step parent, which I understand. But my thing is this, like you said, that's not your child.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a sticky situation because it's not your child. And you're writing about someone else's child who we've seen you not seeing who we've been told treat differently than your biological children.
Here's the thing. I get what he's saying. He's writing it based on his perspective of being a step parent. But in order
Hmm.
to be a step parent, there has to be a step child involved. So you
Right,
can't write about one without the other. So you are looping in this minor child who isn't
right,
your biological
right.
child or adoptive child.
Because without
And
JoJo, there is no book.
right. And then on top of that, I think what's sending the hairs up on the back of my neck even more is like in the little comments and blurbs is Drew still hasn't read it yet. Huh? You're that child's mom. Why are you not looking out and protecting his best interest? What if something is revealed in there that you're not that comfortable with?
Right.
And are we sending an advance copy to his actual biological dad, who y'all say wants to play a part in his life? I don't know. Kind of. I'm always frightened when it comes to minors
Yeah.
because they can't. They can, if they're old enough, they can speak up for themselves. But at JoJo's age, like I feel like his mom, who's his full-time parent of the two biologicals, should be offering more input. Or am I wrong? Like, I don't have a parenting perspective, but I just feel she should be doing a little bit more. I don't know.
I think she's out of the loop, so there's not much you can do. You don't know, and I think that's the part that bothers her the most. Like, this is you're writing about your experience with my child. I think
Yes,
that's the
and you're
perspective
not
that she's
even
coming from.
reading it. You're not
Right.
even reading it. That's very concerning to me. Pearl says, I like Drew for the show. She gives us something to talk about. Oh, God, Drew, really? Pearl, we can find something else to talk about besides Drew. I don't know. Well, like I said last week, Ralph is misunderstood. The book is not about JoJo, but in a way it is. I don't understand why Drew hasn't asked to read it. That's my biggest concern. I feel worried about that. I feel
At
we
least he has
shouldn't
asked
judge
to
the
read it. He
book
won't let
until
her
it's
though.
been read and we know exactly what's in it. Well, if Drew would pick it up and read it and tell us, I think it's a really good perspective from a step parent's point of view. I think my red flags would go down.
No, he won't let her read it though. She's asked to read it. That's the problem. That's one of her bones of contention.
Still?
Yeah.
Then I would be worried about that. Why are you not letting his mom read it? She's your wife. I don't get it.
And my thing, I don't know.
Pearl, stop
What
saying
I
he
didn't like,
misunderstood. Sorry.
I didn't like the fact that she kept throwing him under the bus though. Like
But that's what
under
they
the bus.
both do.
Right, but it was never. But it only showed him in the worst light, though. That's the problem I have. Like, Drew's on this show, like as full time cast. Like, her feet need to be held to the fire as well, because we've seen like how they go back and forth, and he does his wrong for sure. But every time someone says like, "Oh, he's working on that," we're working on that. He understands. I'm like,
Does
where's
he?
your understanding? Where's your growth? What are you working on? Because you have issues too, ma'am. That's where I have a problem. I don't mind showing the woes and the issues, not a problem, but it needs to be even on both sides. It can't be all on Ralph.
I
That's
don't
because it's not fair to
know.
him.
It's just very troublesome to me. All of them. Well, that particular couple is it just doesn't add up. The assistant outing them, saying that it was all for a storyline. Oof. Who was it who said y'all need to block that assistant?
It was somebody.
But it was very true.
Mm-hmm.
He came on there and just said basically that was for Drew and Ralph's storyline.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's not play no games here.
Mm.
What storyline did they really have though? Nothing.
Well, they haven't had one since last year. So I'm not. If Drew comes back, and well, she is coming back because we heard that all of them got contracts to come back and film, but we'll find out exactly who is a full-time peach holder and who's a friend of based on the footage once it's been filmed and edited.
Right.
Um,
What do you think about Todd saying they going on a book tour and the first stop is Tampa? I'm like, you know what?
no, didn't he
Todd
say
was
not
ready.
Tampa?
No, he said Tampa. He's like,
No,
yeah,
I
we're
know
going on
he
the whole.
said Tampa, but
Mm-hmm.
I thought he said not Tampa.
Who?
Todd.
Oh, no, that was Todd. No, that was Todd saying. Did Todd
I
say the first stop was Tampa, or did Ralph say the first stop was Tampa? Somebody said, and I thought it was
no,
really funny.
Ralph said the he's going on a book tour, and then Todd made the comment about Tampa.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's the
Mhm.
way I thought. 'Cause I was listening to it. I was working, but I wasn't watching it. I thought that was Todd. Like, Todd, you being messy. You're funny, but you're being messy.
Well, Todd's one of the girls. Um, True. Andy didn't want to give the assistant any more
Nope, none.
airtime. He hung up on him. Um, Pearl thinks that a lot was cut out from the reunion. You wanted to hear more about the estate planner of Candy and Todd. Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been good, but I guess that's a little too boring
Right.
or too mundane. They seemed like they had an agenda to focus on Sheree and Marlo,
Yeah,
but I don't think
I agree.
it went over as well as they anticipated.
No, it just wasn't. It just wasn't. It just wasn't good, and that's just the bottom line. I'm
Yeah,
glad it's over. Um,
and they're starting filming next week. Damn,
yeah,
that's a quick turnaround.
with a new person, and like I
Oh
said
yeah, the
in
new
our chat,
lady.
and I said in our chat, I'm like, who's gonna introduce her, and it better not be Drew. I'm just saying.
Well, she has a natural hairline, hair
Yeah,
care line,
I
so
gotta
it's
look
not
into
going to
her.
be Kenya.
I want to know if it's gonna be a feud between Kenya and Janelle.
Mm. Whose friend can she be though?
I
Do you
don't
think
know.
it'll be Candy?
I hope so.
But if it's Candy, I bet you it'll be this is the one person that she didn't know.
No, this will be the person. I bet you if it's Candy, this will be. Oh, you know what it could be?
Mm.
It could be one. Remember, Candy is a spokesperson for a care line, right? She might
Right.
know her through that. That's my guess.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
that's that's my guess. My guess is like Candy is a spokesperson for what's it, Kaleidoscope or something. I think that's the name of the brand. Hope I have it right. I could be wrong. Candy, the spokesperson, really likes that product and endorses that product. So I have a
Hmm.
feeling Candy's friends with, of course, the owners or whoever, and they're probably mutual friends of Janelle. That's the way I'm guessing it. I'm probably
So
wrong, but it makes
the
the most sense.
Brat's wife, who owns Kaleidoscope, is
Mhm.
friends with Janelle.
I, that's the that's the
That's
most
how you're
logical.
seeing the
That's
entryway.
yeah,
Hmm. Could be. Could be. Pearl said we also never saw the hair flick from Drew to Sonya. I think they wore that out in the preview.
right.
Um, and they've been doing that lately, showing stuff in preview, but then not showing it in the show.
And this is why, different topic, real quick. This is why I'm not getting excited about Salt Lake City.
Uh-huh. Oh, the same reason?
Yes, I'm stepping all the way back, from Salt Lake. I watched it, of course. I'm going to rewatch it, but
Mhm.
I'm not going to get super excited like some people. Oh my god, Salt Lake City is so fantastic. That trailer. I'm like, you know what? Y'all go back to season 1 with that trailer that they got us hooked on. That we thought we was going to see like the deep and dirty of the Mormon Church. We thought we were seeing MLMs. We thought we were going to see people arrested on camera. We got none of that. Shut up with that damn trailer.
But
There, I said it.
I think we also need to take this with a grain of salt because we're all saying, oh, we're
Mm-hmm.
going to see her go to court, but we're not because this started filming in March. And remember, her first court date in March was pushed
Pushed
back
back.
to July. And then she went to that court date and pled guilty. So I'm not sure if they were still filming in July. We might have missed that.
Oh, Pearl, Janelle is a new lady. She's being filmed. She's been tapped to be filmed with the current cast,
Mhm.
but there's no word if she's a full-time peach holder or a friend.
Right. They won't like they give them the contracts so that they could get permission to film them, but then
Right.
they don't decide who's full-time or a friend of until after they finish putting everything together. So she's an established businesswoman. I think she's married with kids, and her business is a natural hair care line. So should be interesting. And no word yet on whether Portia is coming back.
Erica said
Mm.
opening Salt Lake City with the ladies audition interviews was pretty cool. I like seeing those. I didn't get to see the first half. I came in on the second half, so that's why I have to rewatch it.
Yes, I think you'll like the first half, how they opened up the episode, because it was from their tapes from season 1,
Mm-hmm.
where they were doing their this is who I am spiel.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows where they were at that point, and then they go that was December of 2019, and then they go 2022, and then they show like some teaser for the
Mm-hmm.
season. Basically, Jen is bigging up herself, saying, I make millions on my businesses. Do what you got to do to make that cash, right? And so now, clink clink.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see
That's so
you
bad. It did
see
not age well.
no, it didn't. And just in 2 years, y'all, this is, and it goes to show you what reality TV does to friendships. Because you see Meredith and Lisa, we're best friends. We've known each other for 10 years. We're rock solid. I know she would never do anything to harm me. 2022, you're a bitch whore slut that slept with all of New York City, and I'm not forgiving you for what you said about me. And then the other two, the Mormon cousins, I know I can say anything to her without her ever getting mad at me. Go to 2022. You're a bitch and you're a liar. We're done. It is just hysterical. It is hysterical.
Now, if they give us that kind of editing throughout the season, this season could be gold. If they keep giving you those comparisons, it could be gold.
It
I'm not gonna
could
lie.
be. It could be. And we ain't even touch on really the new people yet. We ain't really touch on the new people yet. So it should be quite interesting, and it should also be very confusing for me because there are two Angies on this season.
Right.
I can't even get Cherie and Sheree right. So God help me with this. Um, but
Oh,
I'm interested, but I'm not gonna be suckered in with the okey doke
right.
again.
Oh,
Okay, who
Pearl, they're
got the
all back
side?
from Atlanta. Everyone's back.
Mm-hmm. Jen Shaw was crazy. Yes, it was. I busted out laughing seeing that. I busted out laughing seeing that because when she was talking about how she was making all of her millions,
Mm-hmm.
and then in my head, all I was hearing was like the prison door slamming. And
Right.
then you saw the clip of Coach Shaw saying, "We gotta get real." You know, and you know what my personal thoughts are. It's my personal opinion that he will go back to his real family.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite interesting. We will be covering it, just not this week. Um, we'll do it next week, and we'll do episode 1 and 2 for you. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about it.
Because this episode was kind of to ease us into the season, and basically it was a I will say this for this episode. You know, I only saw half of the episode. It was a good setup into the season. Like they
Mhm.
like it was done well. I'm not mad at it, but I'm
Mhm.
just gonna watch it for what it is and see how much they give us. Like I've been seeing on social media, and it was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so fantastic!" I'm like, no, y'all just need to wait to watch the season. Just wait.
Yeah, because I think everybody's thinking that we're gonna see Jen like plead guilty or something like that, and they're not
Right,
paying attention to the timeline. We're
right,
actually looking at March of last year, her first court date before it got postponed. Um, but they already planning the group trip.
right,
You saw what we we'll save it for next week, y'all.
right.
But yeah, this back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm glad it's done. It is what it is. It was better than season 13. Was it everything I wanted it to be? No. Try again next season.
Exactly.
But I'm glad that they got their highest ratings of the season for the final um episode. Maybe that
Hmm.
means show more husbands. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. But on that note, any final thoughts?
No, we're all good.
Pearl, all of that money should go back to restitution because she's got a shitload of restitution to pay. You know? That's about it. Okay, so Jamal, at the top of the hour, we'll talk about Beverly Hills.
Yep.
Awesome sauce. Okay, guys, if you can, please join us at the top of the hour in about 30 minutes. Bring your notes on Beverly Hills. I'm just going to say this. The last half of this episode was probably the best segment for the entire season for me so far.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about,
Mhm.
and I'm disappointed in Sutton a little bit because
Oh,
she
I'm not
didn't
even
show.
talking about the Popeyes, although
Oh,
I'm
you mean
here. Yeah,
okay?
I'm talking about the
You mean that
trio.
last part?
Yes.
That
Yeah,
was
because they
oof.
kind of split it up.
It
They
was
kind of
kind of
split it
intense.
up. But it was damning and telling to certain people,
Right,
to all three of those people that was in that
right,
living room. Anywho, um, it also proved to me that Kyle needs to offer better stemware. After seeing Sutton's stemware for Popeyes, I'm gonna need Kyle to up her glassware when it comes to serving her agua in her home.
right.
Especially if you're gonna have the
I
dog licking all over it. Bring out the best china.
agreed.
You know that dog was sniffing around it. You know that.
Of course.
All right, y'all. Bring your notes. Join us back here. Jamal, until next time.
Yep.
All right. Bye.